Hey there, my name is Michael, and you're watching the From WordPress to Statamic YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about custom content types. When we're using WordPress, you probably already know that this requires a little bit of extra effort. If you want to achieve this, you have to either write some custom code or you need to lean on a plugin, just the same way as if you're trying to build a custom page builder. Let's take a look at what's required in WordPress, and then we'll see, yet again, just how much easier this can be with Statamic. Let's go. Okay. Let's start with talking about WordPress. As you can see my test install here, I've got a people page, and I can assume that maybe I want to create a people content type and show a list of people in my organization. If I were to go into the WordPress dashboard, I don't find anything here that can help me do that. What I would need to do is go write some custom code. So as you can see on the right side of my screen here, I've got this template part commented out, and I have this custom post types PHP file already built, and let's just go take a look at it. There's a lot going on here. You know, writing this by hand is not going to be very enjoyable. So there are some services out there that can help you generate something like this Generate WordPress website. You know, you plunk in a bunch of stuff, and then it spits out all this code, and you have to figure out a way to put it into your theme or into a plugin. Okay, so once I've got this thing activated, I can go back to my WordPress dashboard. And now I've got this people content type or post type in my dashboard. Well, what if I didn't want to write custom code for this? Well, then I'd be stuck leaning on a plugin yet again. Newer releases of the Advanced Custom Fields Pro plugin has this built in as a feature. So if I was to go check it out, I can see that now there's this post types option in the menu. And I can go and add a new one. And it's called people and person. Let's call it person, sure. And if I want to go through all the advanced stuff for the labels and everything in here, which basically translates to all this boilerplate you've got over here if you're doing it by hand, then you can do that here. So just save changes. Okay, and now I have this people post type coming from Advanced Custom Fields. Now you can see that I've got two. I'll just go over here and turn this one off just to make sure that there's no conflicts, just in case. Okay, now I'm down to one, and I can go ahead and add my content. But now I have to do all the same stuff that I did before. If I was to build a page builder or figure out how I want to get content in there, I'm either going to be using the block editor or have to do something custom yet again. The other thing that we could do is lean on one of these larger sort of full site plugins like Elementor or Beaver Builder or Pods or something like that that can manage all of our custom post types for us. But I don't think that's the way we want to go. Before we move on, let's just take a look at the front end. So let's create a post here in the new people post type. A new person, Michael. My name is Michael. Publish that. Okay, and let's view. And now I've got a bunch of boilerplate stuff on here. If you're familiar with the WordPress template hierarchy, you can probably drill down and figure out this is probably all coming from the single.php, which brings in another template part that's up here somewhere. But WordPress doesn't give me the idea of like scaffolding a new template, right? I've got to sort of base it off of this template hierarchy and then create my own from there, which is maybe less than ideal, but it is what it is. Either way, if we're working in WordPress or in Statamic, there's a little bit of template work to do. So it's not a huge pain point in my mind. Now let's go turn to Statamic. I have the dashboard open in another tab here, so let's go check it out. In Statamic, the idea of a post type we refer to as collections. And as you can see over here, if I click into collections, I already have a couple configured. I've got the blog and the pages, which is roughly equivalent to my posts and pages in WordPress. Now, if I want to create a new one, I don't have to write a bunch of custom code or lean on a plugin. It's right here. There's this nice big blue button, create collection. I can call it people. It generates a handle for me. You can create a collection. Okay, and it gives me a few options right off the bat. I can scaffold some views, which will create those new templates for me, like I was just saying. I can do some collection configuration. I can modify the blueprint that this is going to use. But let's start with scaffolding the views. Okay, this will actually go into the code and create these things for me. So I have a people index, people show, create the views. Okay, now if I was to go look at my code, let's take a look over here. Now in my views, you can see I've got this people directory now, index and show, which is what it just created for me. And let's go and configure the collection. There's a bunch of stuff that I may or may not want to do, like publishing dates, which would make sense if I was to make a blog, for example, whether I wanted to go ascending or descending on my when I'm showing the index. I can select what blueprint I want to use or edit it right there if I want to connect any taxonomies. And by default, the people show is what's going to show a single post. And then down here, I can specify where I actually want this to go. In the WordPress, this is kind of buried in the configuration code a little bit, but I can go as simple as person and use the slug from that given post. And I go up here and save. The other thing that I could do is I could mount this to a particular entry, like I've done with the blog, and maybe that'll be a topic for another post. But for now, if I go to my pages, you could. That's the mount connection there. I've got this people page, and I'm just going to specify this one to use my people index page, so that when I actually land on here, it'll show my list of people. Okay, now I'll go to my people collection. Let's create an entry. And as you can see, by default, I get fields right out of the box. Say Michael. My name is Michael. Okay, let's save that. And let's view that on the front end. So if I go to people, well, right now there's nothing there. So I actually need to write a little bit of code here. So if I go to my index, I'll give it a container. I have to spell that right. And I'll go over my collection tag, people. Close that off. And for each one, I will maybe just make a link for now. Get the URL. And the title. And there it is. And that'll link to my single page. And I need to write a little bit of code on the show template to do that. Put it in a container as well. Maybe we'll give it a little bit more breathing room this time. So give it some margin on the top. And we'll make the H1. We'll make it the title. And then you would just have some freeform text in here. We'll output the content. Maybe just give this some styling here a little bit. Make it bold. And there we go. Oh, maybe I don't have my my watch running so that to generate that style for me. But as you can see, wow, this took like all of what, a minute, and I have a new custom post type, or a new collection rather in Statamic. This was so easy. It's baked right in. If I wanted to do anything more fancy with my index here and have pagination, and I can style this pretty simply, just like that. To me, this is much more intuitive than doing WordPress, where I have to write all this code or lean on a plugin to do this. So again, I love Statamic for this. It makes building content so easy. So I hope you'll join me in continuing to learn this stuff with me. Catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.